Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Elizabeth. It's a grand rising, new day, grand love rising, Elizabeth.
Grand rising.
Come on, y'all, say something.
Grand rising.
Grand
Rising, Elizabeth.
rising.
All right, let me turn this up. This is making me nuts. Okay, so today is Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. I'd first like to give thanks for another day.
Ashe.
Another day to be with Elizabeth in this space that we have created, that was created for us. Being able to fellowship, even though and despite of what's going on in our world. So I am grateful for that. This is a sister, S-U-S-T-A, Sister Mama Hetheru, coming to you live from the Ewald Circle Village Estates. We have a wonderful and a learning show planned for you today. We have a special guest I am honored to have in my life and in my space. It's just really incredible. Now today is Wisdom Wednesday. I don't know if I said that. So we want to identify that today is Wisdom Wednesday, even though I may be with the Monday best or the Tuesday best or the Thursday best or the Friday best. You have to be ready for all of that because you never know when you're called. All right.
And happy Kwanzaa.
Yes. I see. I'm supposed to have my little. Yes, it is Kwanzaa today. All right, you all. It's going to be special. Let me go ahead and turn off this camera so that I can be one of myself and stop looking. It's messing me up. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you want to be two people, and if you could be two people, you couldn't handle it. I don't know if I could handle two of me. You handle two of you.
I'm having a hard enough time dealing with one of me.
Listen to the truth.
Right.
All right, so we are going to spin a card. This is the Black Tarot. Again. Let's see what. All right, somebody, let's see. Mama Evelyn, since it was your birthday, give me a number. Give me a number from 1 to 10.
Don't think too hard, just respond.
A finger do.
Did you hear what she asked you?
Said number 1. She said number 1. Would you like me to go from the top, the middle, or the bottom? Middle. The middle. I got her. Did she say middle?
You're reading your lips?
Yeah, middle.
Come on with it now. Okay, I picked the Father of Coins. This is the card from the Black Tarot. Father of Coins. Okay. Father of the Coins. Let's see if the Father of the Coins is going to come quickly to me here. Because you know they be hiding. Okay, there's the daughter. Thank you, daughter. Help me get to the Father. Father of Coins. This is our card for the day from the Black Tarot by Nyasha Williams. Okay, that is our tarot deck. The Father of Coins is economical and discipline is the traits of the card. The Father of Coins stands in front of a table covered in cowrie shells. Behind him, his ancestors are showcased on the wall. He, in a worldly and material sense, has made it and is financially secure. Okay. The Father of Coins knows that mindsets are matter. And he has the ultimate abundance mindset, solidifying him in future generations. The card serves as a warning to be wary of letting material security hold on or hold too much precedence. The Father of Coins, as a protector and provider, knows the value of wealth as well as the burden it carries. Stay grounded while pursuing your aspirations. The Father of Coins immerses his goals and responsibilities in love. He is patient and consistent. working for the good of all and not just for his glory. Responsibility, heritage, receptiveness, wealth, and security is the yang. And in yin, there's poor money management, scamming, materialism, corruption. Aligning, lead a service project. Now, granted, Mama Evelyn selected the card for us to pull today, and it's so appropriate for our Kwanzaa principle, day 3, which is Ujima. Our first principle was Umoja, which was unity. Yesterday we had Kuji Chagulia. That's my favorite word, Kuji Chagulia. So day 3 today is Ujima. So in our Kwanzaa celebration, we want to focus every day on a different principle. And there are 7 called the Nguzu Saba. And as we light our Kanara, which is our candle, with our Kanara, which is our candle holder, we are lighting, we have 1 black candle in the center, 3 red candles on one side, and 3 green candles on the other. They can be put, there's no set way to put those candles and arrange them. The black one is in the center. You can do black, green, and red, or 3 on each side. But every day you light the black one, and then you go to one side and light your, that's why the black one always burns faster, because it's one. And so every day you add another candle to be lit. And so that is also on our website that we have. It's called available to us, the official Kwanzaa website. And that is one of the resources that I like to use for our greater understanding of Kwanzaa. So I don't know if you all know it, but there is a 30-foot, and Sister D shared that with us. There's a 30-foot Kanara at Campus Marshes downtown. So it's going to be there, and you want to go down and take a look at it. There are also community celebrations happening at King Solomon Church. I will make sure to set that link in the post while Baba's speaking later on. All right, I want to just hit the brass singing bowl that I got from Baba Ray. Now, let me tell you about this bowl. I got this bowl from Baba Ray some years ago when Sister Juanita had her Laughs conference and luncheon. One of the speakers was the woman who this bowl came from. So that connection, it was amazing. When he told me, he shared that with me on his way out of the door. And I just thought that was incredible, that I was in the space of the place and the person that made it possible for me to have this singing bowl. And I'm so grateful for those connections. So I just want to ring it and just take a moment to hear the chime. And I think this is the note of E, okay? So here we go. I'm going to ring it, and then I'm going to take the dial around the bowl. And guests and members and Elizabeth, please chime in and just say your name and how you feeling today, okay? We're just gonna round robin and unmute yourselves as we go around, okay? We have 15 people present.
I feel optimistic.
Be optimistic, don't you be no grumpy. All
I
right,
feel wonderful.
all right, wonderful. That's
I feel grounded.
grounded, tree.
I'm inspired, Razia.
All right, Mama Razia, it's good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Good.
Grand Rising,
Grand
Miss
Rising.
Danny. Grand Rising. And I
Grand
feel
Rising.
marvelous this morning.
Marvelous and good. All right. Anybody
Grand
else?
Rising. This is
Grand Rising.
Deidre, and I feel loving.
Okay.
Amani Grace, and I feel abundant.
Abundant. All right. I need 15 people. I'm a little short.
It's Nawili. I feel groovy.
Yes.
This is Jackie. I feel peaceful.
All right, Miss Jackie. Thank you so much.
This is Bridget. I feel excited.
All right, Lelo Bridget. Excited.
This is Evelyn. I feel grateful.
Okay.
What? Hey,
Well, this is the way you said it. I was like, okay.
I feel better today than I did yesterday and the day before. Okay, gotcha.
Rejoice in that. We gonna rejoice in that. All right.
Yes.
All right. Listen, you picked this magical card today, so that's what I love about it. So I asked Mama Evelyn, I said, give me a number and then share with me where you want me to pick it from. So I really like that she went in with that, and I knew exactly what she was saying, even though she was on mute. So I love that we can still communicate in that way. All right.
We have two more that didn't say anything and one that just came.
Thank you, Star, for keeping attendance. Okay, people, I need to hear your voice and see you. I need to see a square, a room, a doorway, or some elbow. Just check in.
Sandy, and I feel delightful.
All right, Sandy, I did see you in your horizontal there. I did see you in some pink. I saw you on the screen. All right, we got one more.
Empowered.
All right, Miss Juanita, we just spoke you up. Thank you for coming in and letting us know you're present. All
And
right.
there's one more. She just came in.
Grateful.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Who did it?
That's
Is
Decretia.
that Coach T? That's Coach T.
Yes, ma'am. It's the one and only. How y'all doing?
Oh, yes, the movement, another one of our movement specialists. Watch out now. All right, let's see. I think it's time now for us to do a little movement. We got all the people in the place. Let me see something. All right. All right, you all. Okay, now let's think about, don't do it. Let's think about our teacup. I don't have, wait a minute. I do have my vessel. Do you all have your liquids? You should have some water or your teacup or tea, coffee. All right.
Oh, Mama Razia, you look beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I saw her stand up. With
Yes,
that,
I like that.
that beautiful body shape in her 80s. My goodness.
All right, let's get this music on the jam. Nope, I don't want it from me.
Oh, beautiful.
I love it. Okay. I'm going to. Okay, I have my things all prepped up. Let's see. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna, can you all hear the music okay?
I can't.
No.
No?
Is it on YouTube or if coming from something?
It is on YouTube. Hold on.
Okay, we can hear it now a little bit.
Okay, that's my speaker. All right, let me take back just a little bit. All right, so we have a rhythm that's playing. And I just want to, we're gonna do some arm work. So put your arms up, touch your shoulders, and we're gonna go out and touch and out and touch and breathe. Make sure you're breathing. And take them up and shoulder. And look up with the arms. Usually do movements of 8 reps. 4 more. And out front and shoulder. One more. And right and left. Let's go. Yes, alternate. Touch, 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 touch.
We don't see y'all, so we're assuming you're doing it.
Shake those hands in front of you, right and left. Shake those arms up. Shake those arms. All right. All right. Let's see. Now. Okay. All right, let's get back to this Zoom. I was frozen for a second, but I'm back. All right, I'm going to get off of this one and move over here. Can you all hear me?
Recording in progress.
All right, there's one of me now, so I can keep my little head together. All right, so let's see, where are we now? We've done our movement, we've checked in. Okay. All right, so I have power to screen share. We're going to, all right, there are no echoes. All right. All right. So again, we are starting with our Wisdom Wednesday, Grand Rising Elizabeth, Sister Mama Head, coming to you live from the Ewell Circle Estates here in the village. This is a very special place that I had moved to because I was able to partner up with a young man. He was a young man, he's an older man now. Wow, it's been almost 25 years we've been together. We met at an art gallery, and I had just come from my first African dance class. I was not smelling, I was the ripest in my most natural state. And I was just starting my locks. And a friend of mine had asked me to come to his art gallery that he had open, I think, for 2 years. I think he opened up 2 years prior to me finally getting there. And when I pulled up in my Jeep, I jumped out of the Jeep raw and rugged, okay? And this young man was standing up against the wall with some yellow shaded sunglasses on. And I was telling him about a place that I read about in a book called The Link, about this place, this vacation retreat area called the Sassafras Ridge Mountain Retreat. And I read the book the week before, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going here, but I am going here. I don't know who I'm going with, but I'm going here. And set those intentions that day. And then the next week, I come to this gallery and share this story with these people, and they go, excuse me, because he was also there with some other friends. They said, that is Brother Ambe's family, who are the people who found this place, who found this property and began selling 4 acres of land in 4-acre plots. And I went with them on Thanksgiving of 98. I didn't tell my mother where I was going, and I didn't tell her who with. And the only reason I did that like that was because I didn't think she would let me go. And I wasn't going to be able to not, Anyway, I was very well taken. It's my first time away from my family for the holiday too. I'd never been anywhere else for Thanksgiving, so that was something. So went on this trip and fell in love. I found out that I could be quiet at the vacation area. I also found out that I could be still. We drove down. I think it took about 10 hours. It's down in Sassafras. It's in between Turtletown and Ducktown, Tennessee. Straight down 75, and then we take exit 60 at some point and drive in the mountains. So we're curves and all of this. So that is how I met this young man, the Baba Heru. So we're just gonna go on a little journey and look at some of the things that he's done, places he's gone. Ugh, cell phone. Oh Lord. Where's my cell phone? All right, here we go. Okay, let's see. Since I have a limited space here, I'm going to play a little music. So Baba Allende, and I just found this morning, 7 something this morning, Baba Allende did a live drum session. So I just wanted to put that on really quick. All right. He decided to do a live session yesterday, and I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to embed it in the presentation, but it just didn't happen that way for me this morning. Here we go. All right. So if you're feeling the motion, just move your shoulders up and down. We'll just go through a little session exercise class real quick. Up and down. And now we're gonna roll. Roll it back. And bring it forward. Chest out and back. Let's go. Cat and cow sitting down. Right and left, right and left. Shift. Hey. And we're gonna make a chest circle. Take it around like a record. Around. Yes. Woo. Other way. All right, now we're going to tuck and release our hip, our pelvic area. Tilt and tuck. Now side to side, right and left. Kick that hip up, right and left. You do that in your chair. We're squirming in the chair right now. Take it around in a circle. Roll. I know you know how to roll those hips. All the way around in a circle. Get him, Mama Razia. Other way.
Four, five. Oh.
All right. Thank you, Baba Allende. I appreciate ya. All right. Now I'm good and sweaty now. You should have a little glisten. No, not sweating. I mean glisten. There might be a little glisten forming.
Take my pen.
And have some water. All right. I hope you all were moving. You know, Mama Head is about an active person. When I do a post, my posts are meant for movement and motion. So we are joining today, we're gathering today to talk about our third day of Kwanzaa, which is Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. I did make an error yesterday saying the other one, which is tomorrow of for cooperative economics. But today is Ujima, day 3 of Kwanzaa. We are blessed to have Baba Uri Heru House join us. I like to, now I call him Brother Baba DJ Heru. Okay? So we're going to go to our next slide. All right. So this symbol is called the Okoma Nataso. I might need help pronouncing that. It's the Andinka symbol of shared effort and obligation. This is the symbol that is used on the Kwanzaa website to represent the collective work and responsibility. And the center area is the shared space, and that's where we collect and share out. So it's almost like our spiral or our, your energy. You start with the source and things go out, okay? All right. So for Ujima, I gotta move this over. For Ujima, here's the third principle of Kwanzaa. It's the collective work and responsibility, which is a commitment to active, that word active, hello? Active and informed togetherness on matters of common interest. It is also recognition and respect for the fact that without collective work and struggle, progress is impossible and liberation unthinkable. Moreover, the principle of Ujima supports the fundamental assumption that African is not just an identity, but also a destiny and duty. Example, a responsibility. In other words, our collective identity in the long run is a collective future. Thus, there is a need and obligation for us as self-conscious and committed people to shape our future with our own minds and hands and share its hardships and benefits together. The challenge of history and culture then is through collective work and responsibility to restore that which was damaged or destroyed and to raise up and reconstruct that which was in ruins as the ancient Egyptians taught. It is also to remember we are each cultural representatives of our people and have no right to misrepresent them or unwillfully do less than is demanded of us by our history and current situation as a community in struggle. We must accept and live the principle of shared or collective work and responsibility in all things good, right, and beneficial to the community. This principle is not something that has to be embedded only in Kwanzaa. These are life practices that we can do in our life as human beings. And I really appreciated Baba Malik yesterday. He was the director and the principal of the school in Sortima Institute, and our daughter was able to go through that school and for up into the 6th grade. And so I was really thankful that the children were indoctrinated with these principles every day. The children would gather first thing in the morning so they could get off the tension, and they would do affirmations. Their drums were every day, all day. And they would gather and do affirmations. And then when they would go to their classrooms, their teachers might take them on a walk outside of the school first thing in the morning, so we can get that, especially, that mama. Mama might have got up late, so now she's frustrated, and everybody is now, just off the rails. So sometimes they would do silent meditations and just different things to help everybody, the teacher included. The drive going to work could be bizarre. And so everybody needed to just take that breath. And that's how they started off the day, with principles like Ujima and other Kwanzaa principles, and just helping us, relax before we get into our day of school. And I really appreciated that about the school. Okay, so I hit it twice. Okay, so Brother Baba DJ Heru, this was one of the first square up here, the first rectangle, the Netherworks, is Divine Works, Community Thoughts, Music, and Technology. This is how I met him. This is how he came already in play. And one of his quotes that he likes is, "The community is when human beings come together in a shelter of each other. We are a community of beings acknowledging the dual intention of working on ourselves as an offering to others and working with others as a way of working on ourselves. Our lives are training sessions to turn ourselves into instruments of true kindness and compassion." Did I know that this read like Ujima? That's why I'm welling up a little bit. It's just that, and I'm sorry, let me quote. This is from Ram Dass, okay? That's who the quote is by. And, you know, it's funny how divine work works. That finding this quote that he had on his website some years ago looks similar to the one of Ujima, which we are celebrating today. Baba was responsible for Motown Wireless, which provided a signal to our future technology, and also making sure that people, before he even did the mesh network, which he'll go into detail on a little later, Baba, when we set up our home, we had computers, and he set it up like a classroom so people could come in and learn how to work these tools. They're not just playthings, they are tools to learn how to use and to communicate, to get yourself out there, learning how to manipulate these programs. They used to be called programs, now everything is apps. But just to learn and familiarize yourself with. We opened our home to teachers, because when I started working at Detroit Public Schools, I was computer ed tech. And when I tell you all I knew how to do was turn them on and figure out how to work them, because I worked at a bank first. And then going into the schools, you know, nobody really knew how to work the computers, and neither did I, but I was willing to just jump in there and learn. And so I learned on the job. And that was our world, computers. When we met, Heru had moved down south for some time, and because we had a computer, we didn't have a long. Do you all remember having a long distance friend, cousin, a family, and you made phone calls, and how much those bills were, and how your parents were about to put you out because you taking the phone bill from 0 to 5,000?
Yep,
We're
yep,
talking about corded phones. Anybody know about a corded phone?
yep.
Woo! Anyway, so we were able to communicate free, you know, while he was staying down south. So that, you know, we had the dial-in modem. We were using the phone to communicate with our friends and loved ones. So that was there's an evolution there. This last square here is our ecosphere. It doesn't have the signage on it, but it was a picture that the Baba likes to use for our ecosphere, technology park and ecosphere, our neighborhood. He was doing some research on where we live on Ewa Circle, and found out that it is a whole vibe. It's a whole mathematical equation here where we sit and how it's set up. And I'll let him go into that further. But this is the Adinkra wisdom knot. And it is manipulated so it looks like an E, an O, and a C. Okay, so this is an adaptation of the Adinkra wisdom knot. All right, let's move further. Here are some of the projects and community things that Baba has been involved with. He is a DJ as well, and his DJing is a ministry. He uses music to share messages. It's not just about the shaking and the gyrating, even though that's good. We need to shake and gyrate. Got to do it to help relieve ourselves of what we're feeling and just help. Music is a therapy, if you will. Music calms a savage beast. Music is universal. People may be at odds, but you put some music on and the whole room and the world will change. So this is one of his many, many gifts, is DJing. And of course, it's a lot of technology involved. This man is a tinkerer. When I tell you a tinkerer, tinker. He is going to figure things out, find, see see the challenges. He is a human computer, if you will, and that's the first computer of humans because we solve problems. Many of us. Some of us create them, but the goal is to solve problems or make solutions. We don't have problems, we have challenges, and we want to create solutions. So in the middle here is an article that was done on on the project that he was working with. Pictures of him on roofs, making sure that the signal is, you know, there trees that you have to overcome, and for sending signals to from one area to another, so that the computers and the communications can read one another and be aligned so that the communication is clear. You know, sometimes trees are in the way. They might have to cut some trees down or figure out a way over or around, and all of that. All of this is all math things, all mathematical formulas and things that you get to apply as opposed to just reading in books. The one picture in the corner with in the full view, that was Siggy Fest. Sister Ingrid LaFleur put together Siggy Fest, which is a celebration by the Dogon people, who are the ones who mapped out the heavens and the skies. And this celebration happens every 50 years. I think we were ahead about 3 or 4 years before when this happened. They found a home that was abandoned and left for, you know, demise. And they were able to go in and get approval to have the structure used for the festival. The side over there, the big area space in the bottom left-hand corner of that window was a hole that was on the side of the house. So that became our stage. And the house was wrapped with T-back, and somebody designed a image for the building, and we celebrated the Siggy Fest there. Ingrid brought in guests from different states, and we celebrated that festival through meditation, dance, music, and presentations from other people in the community. And in this bottom left-hand corner is one of our ancestral celebrations that happens. We go to the lighthouse, near the lighthouse at Belle for and we don't call it Juneteenth. We celebrate our ancestors on that day. And this was an offering basket, and Baba helped send it out to the Belle River, which is a strait. I don't know if any of you have ever participated. It's a very beautiful celebration. Baba forgot that he had his cell phone in his pocket. He was so involved. But because they go up to dang near their waist to help send the offering basket out to the water. All right, our next slide. Let's go to the center picture. This was another event that Sister Ingrid LaFleur, I think we participated in. We went to a party that was celebrating the moon, and I did not know that this huge ball, I felt like this was a very incredible moment where we had a party with the moon, music and dance, and this ball was so huge. I can't even tell you how big it was. I don't even know. I don't have the math for it. So that's the center picture, and Baba is also a moon child. He is a Cancer symbol in the zodiac. So that's a very nurturing sign, and it is the mother. Upper left is our Ecosphere Technology Park that we have set up in the community, right here on Ewald and San Juan. And this is our space that every Saturday from 7 to midnight, we would have music here. Baba has switched over to the Amapiano sound, which we have both fallen in love with, and our daughter as well. And we would play this music on Saturdays and have a bonfire. And the community would come. We've had elders in the community come and say, hey, what's that music? We're enjoying it. And nobody ever complained. People just came and were able to enjoy. You know, bring your troubles to the bonfire and let's burn them. We're supposed to have a nice weather next week, and we're the third Tuesday, and we're really considering having a bonfire because we've gone through some more things. And if you want to come and relieve yourself, if you want to just bring your papers and things that you want to burn and release, by all means, we're going to do that. And I will let everybody know what day. But Baba and my cousin, all of these products here that you see, this wood, this blanket, The tree stumps were all donated, and he'll probably explain to you how that all came about. Moving over, there's another community event on the North End. Baba's very active in the North End. My mother used to hang out there, so it's really good. My mother taught, well, she was a secretary, administrative assistant at a school over there. So a lot of these things that I've been doing have been places my mother used to be. So to go back to those places is really profound for me. And Baba was helping to cook there at a community event. I believe this might have been an eclipse celebration that we were celebrating on the North End at the garage, which is a very pivotal space in the community over on the North End on Oakland Avenue. All right, down in the left-hand corner was another project that Baba did with Insortima Institute. It was the Quick to Learn project that they presented computers. And so these are just some of the beautiful, beautiful projects Baba has been involved with. Let's see, is that the end of my slideshow? I believe that's the end of my little slideshow. And it is little. I love it. I love it. All right, you all. I hope that you enjoyed our slideshow. And let me take a look at our participants and see. Well, how do I get back to my Baba, you there? Now, who's that? Oh, there.
Yeah, there is an echo. Are you guys close to each other?
Yeah, you sound kind of muffled there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Well, he is here. He got his little light shining and bright. So this is my partner. We have been hanging out and getting to know one another and just experiencing this community together. It's just been a very beautiful and a very lesson-filled relationship. We met in '98 and hung out for 2 years. And one day the Bible was like, Mama hit. He was like, listen. No, he did give me my name. And he was like, listen, he's like, let's join up and take this journey together. I don't know. I think I'm going to take off my mic. But anyway, I'm going to let the Baba tell you about his road and his journey. And thank you all for being open. Baba, I'd like you to meet the Elizabeths.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Okay, come. So on as well. Yes.
yeah, you're real muffled, Baba.
I'd like to
Yeah, you just muffled, really muffled.
Yeah, you're not real clear talking, the audio.
Everybody go on mute but him.
Unmute yourself, Baba. I guess he's going to come back in. Well, until he comes back in, just, Habari Gani to everyone. Happy Kwanzaa. Good to see you.
Habari Gani to you all.
Good to be
I'm
here.
not quite ready to be seen. I love y'all. I love what was being brought to us today is super powerful. What these two are doing and spreading in the earth, in the city, oh my God. I'm so
Mhm,
grateful. I hope they do the bonfire because Lord knows it do me some good.
mhm.
Yes. Well,
Mm.
Ujima is a very special day for Healing Support Network. It's actually the reason we came into being,
Wow.
because we thought we should be collectively responsible for each other's health and well-being. And as we talk to each other, that resonates. And so 34 years later, we're still being collectively responsible for each other's health and well-being. We recognize that we can have everything in our society can be better and greater when it's in a collective.
Yes, absolutely.
You're still doing the same thing, Baba.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm telling you
Would it be too much off the mark to go to Mama Head's computer?
I already there. You're right next to me, right there. So, like, so what we did, so that's about a second.
Wouldn't it be, isn't that something that the thing that you do?
I got him.
With the
I gotta get
internet?
on? Yes. Oh. Okay.
Go ahead, complete, Mama Razia, what you were sharing.
Okay.
Well, everything that we do in Healing Support Network is pretty much collectively done. We have collective living space. We put forth the intention that people would receive support with transportation, with shopping, with gardening. We did a large garden in Vandalia, Michigan, where people drove each other to an hour and a half to this large farm area.
Wow.
And we went to Chicago and studied with that garden area in Milwaukee, but we recognized that collective work and responsibility was our survival tool. Many of the things that we did could not have happened by one individual. In fact, when we ended that project, people came back to Detroit and we made effort to get our own gardens going. And we realized how difficult it is to just go out there by yourself, water, do the things. And so people started recruiting each other. Would you come over and help me plant? And then I'll come over and help you. And then we'll come and weed together. We will come and have watering day or whatever. And just to know that the energy, my intent to work in the garden spreads to the next individual. The energy, the collective energy has a space of its own. And I don't really understand it, but I found that the intent to go had energy. When I said to Queen Aduni, I will be there, I'm coming. And she said, how's she going to do that? She said her leg is hurting, her knee is hurting. And I keep saying, I'm going to be there. And that energy gave me, just telling her gave me the energy. My knee felt better because I had made the promise, I had made the commitment. So collective work and responsibility has a major, major effect. And it's my favorite principle of the 7. And it has been a sustaining force for me and my family and many of the people that I relate to. And somebody said I was dressed up or looking good today. Well, I celebrate Ujima if there's any one day of the 7, I get myself up and get my African clothing on and just lift up each other on this day. So I've known Baba Heru since he was about 5 or 6 years old. He and my son were best friends. Bankole left this part in 1986. And Baba Heru is one of the expansions of Bankole. So seeing his work and following he and Mama has been a blessing to me personally. And it's just so great to see them today.
Ashe.
Lots of love.
Ashe.
Ashe. Yes, Mama Razia is really Mama. You know what I mean? Even though I know Mama Razia, see, you taught her, you gave us collective work and responsibility lessons from the get-go. Ooh, we learned to work in the kitchen, put meals together, co-op food sessions. We learned all kind of ways to take care.
I remember, I don't know if it was when you were over, but someone in the community was complaining about me because I had some child was standing on a milk crate in order to wash dishes. That, you know, that he's too young, let him go. I said, no, their cultures, especially the Chinese culture, 3-year-olds have to learn how to cook rice.
Right.
And be prepared. So our culture really needs what you're offering to let every human being know that he can make a contribution to the collective, no matter how young or how old. If you're breathing and alive, there is something you can do for the collective.
It's true. I mean, look, you could go mind your own business if you were in the way. You do your thing over there, you bothering everybody, but you still helping everybody by staying out the way.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't know if I'm here for a question or some. There's a little bit of history in every part of this room for sure. And Mama Head, thank you for that intro. That was so nice. You just kind of just broke it down, brought me back almost. I was almost in tears over here too. Like, man, I have done all these crazy things around the neighborhood and in the community for the community. I mean, and for me, you know, because I've always been a tinkerer. You know, Mama Razia's son Bankole, yes, he was my best friend. So we did all that sci-fi, technology, comic books, imagining, taking stuff apart, imagining we were drawing, you know, cartoon figures and superheroes. I mean, we wanted to be superheroes. So this is, and to answer your question, Mama, who asked about, isn't it ironic that the computers are not quite working for you and you're a computer person? No, not at all, because this is not my season. I am a Cancer and this is Capricorn season. So not only am I technologically, you know, insightful, I'm also very astrologically and astrocosmic. So I know this is when I would not even be outside. I wouldn't be dealing with people. I wouldn't even be working on technology because I learned that I get all my little money stacked up and work done by December 5th. And from December 5th to about January 5th, I don't even community. Mostly I just watch movies or study or stay out the way. So this is I'm going to come out here and deal with the community at one of my lowest points. So yeah, it kind of, we don't have it all. This, I wouldn't normally even be out here dealing. So, but Mama Head was like, please. I was like, all right, I'm gonna come out here and talk to the folks. But normally I'm in my cave for the winter.
Well, thank you. We thank you for.
Right, so this is definitely, so we have overcome the little obstacles and challenges to get me here, to be able to speak for you all today about something that's very important to me. And I've lived it so I know how many benefits and blessings come from it. What you can produce, you know, many hands make the work light. I believe is the statement. When I was in college, when I went back to college, I didn't quite understand it at the first run, but when I went back to college, I brought that to my roommates and it kind of, it was both Ujima and Ujima, so maybe it's leading into it, but we were all living in this boarding house. Everybody was off to themselves attempting to live. There's this room, this person gets, they may have food stamps at the time and some money from their mother every now and then, or parents, or food packaging, or they had a meal card for on campus. So, but there were times when you could obviously, if you were paying attention, see that there were lean times for every individual. You know what I mean? So there were things that you would have you're out of food, so then you go into your little cave, like I'm not even gonna bother or come outside while people are eating these cringing moments for students at the time or some of my peers when they just didn't have any money or didn't have anything to offer. So, and I brought to them, like, you always got something to offer. You know what I mean? You may have got some cannabis from this person, and this person, you got some brew from this person, and you got some food stamps. We could just, if we come together, you know what I mean? Prepare a meal together. You got some beans, I got some rice. My man got some turkey wings. My man just shot a turkey up on the farm. Bring that in, and we put the smoked turkey in. We got a meal. So these coming together to create where there is nothing or very little, or each of us only having a small piece. When you put all those pieces together, this, whether it's objects or our intent, create a collective working situation so we can actually move forward. And I've seen how it changed, small spaces and large spaces over time. All the children who were, through myself, who went to the early African Center schools, we programmed to do this, and that's what we know. It feels right and it shows up as right. But there are those moments when you're like, whew, everybody wasn't raised the same way. You know what I mean? So you still have to, as I was taught by my parents, be the light on the hill, be an example. There's no better way to show somebody how to do something, or to show how something is beneficial, than by putting it into action. So most of what you've seen, those pictures and images is my mind, looking for a way to express its need to build the community, and share blessings.
Baba, you had shared a video at one time about the work that you all did collectively to bring the internet to the community. I don't know how long that is, but do you still have that?
Hold on one second. Let me see if I can minimize this little picture here.
Yeah, I was so impressed with that in the work that you all did together, and providing something that the community needed, and just using the knowledge that you all had was that was pretty amazing to me.
Yeah, what Mama is talking about is the Equitable Internet Initiative. And so while I'm looking for the video,
Barbara, do you have the shared screen? You have the shared screen ability on the Mac?
yeah, I just
I
gotta
believe.
find the actual video. That's all.
Okay.
So I need to switch it over to him.
No, I think he's on the machine I think he is on the machine that you gave the power to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I did cut it off, so I don't know. I should still be
Oh, you
shared.
still have it.
Okay, good. So he should.
So the video is 12 minutes long.
Okay.
And let's see, and I think I found a link.
And then Lolly has shown us there's a when you share, there's something at the bottom for the sound, so that the sound is really good for us.
Okay, so you have to, yes, you have to, so funny. That was something else we developed as a streaming company to do streaming moments like this, but you have to turn me back to allow sharing again, because you have it disabled.
Okay. So you have to give it back to me. Or wait a minute. You said I have you disabled?
You have sharing disabled as the host.
That probably happened when we had to cut off and cut back on.
Oh yeah, right. So it's still under
Mama Hetheru.
Yeah, this is Mama Hetheru's machine.
Not sister, just mama.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about for the sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. All right, so this is the article. It was an interview and an article about the Equitable Internet Initiative. And being a part of that meant that we as a community wanted to improve the knowledge, skill sets of the community, create what they call digital stewards first, which was taking members of the community and educating them on certain processes, computer use, wireless networking, apps, production apps like, as basic as Office and Google Docs, to make more individuals who were prepared to support the community in technology, in technological ways, where it be, somebody on your street doesn't know how to use a computer and they've got family members that want to communicate with them. So we were sharing that. Let's see, what is this?
And how long ago was that?
This was in 2017.
Okay.
We started, the Digital Stewards Program started out in 2012, which was part of the Digital Justice Coalition. And it became a mix between, a group out of New York who was also creating their own digital stewards, as we call it. And then, okay, this is on. I don't know if I want to add. Is that playing for you all? This may not be fast enough.
Yeah, it's moving slow. Is it something that I can pull up?
Let's see. Yes, you can. If you might be able to do that. Let's see. Ow. So this is a little faster. It's under Detroit Telecom. If you type it in YouTube, that's probably the fastest way to do it. Detroit Telecom Internet, and that should give you the video itself. How was that just looking? Did that sound choppy? Because I could probably blow the screen all the way up. Is that full screen for you all?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
The state of internet in Detroit is quite sad. 40% has no connection.
Let me pull it up. Let me see. think you have to come off of screen.
Food, housing,
No, I guess this is backing up.
clothing, shelter, all the skills been stripped from us. It's like, damn, I gotta build it.
Yeah, you can put the link in the chat if you want,
Oh, okay, great.
and then send it to her.
Which one did you put up? The YouTube one had?
Yeah, that's the one I went. I went to the page directly and used the one from the page. I had it embedded in my presentation, but I didn't use it.
Okay.
So you're gonna put it in the chat?
I think she said she did. That was my question. Yeah.
Oh, here. Okay, Baba, as we're doing this, can you just share a little bit about your name and your education in Detroit?
Okay. Okay, good. So
Mercury in retrograde, and Baba Hetheru don't come out this time of year, so we challenged.
yeah, we are, but we're gonna work through it because we said we was gonna do it. That's the part of the you know what did you bring up? You brought tea. I think this was about to run out of power.
Okay, I got it here.
Gotta give her back. No shames, it looks like giving internet to people.
It working for you, Mama? I hear it.
It's doing this commercial. That's not me though.
That's not you?
Okay, no, because I don't have my sound up yet. I do have it ready. And now I need to do the screen sharing. Did you take it off?
Yes, I did.
Okay, here we go. Share the sound. So whatever is playing, yeah.
Okay.
So we've now entered into Southwest Detroit, which is actually where I live. Just recently moved to the price out of the neighborhood.
Okay, turn off whatever that is.
Part of the narrative too.
Okay, good.
The state of internet in Detroit is quite sad. 40% has no connection.
So from food, housing, clothing, shelter, all the skills been stripped from us. It's like, damn, I gotta build everything from the fucking floor up.
Digital justice looks like no shames, It looks like giving internet to people. It looks like building networks. That's why I'm doing it.
So we've now entered into Southwest Detroit, which is actually where I live. I just recently moved because I got priced out of my neighborhood. So I think that's a big part of the narrative too, is that people are just trying to keep their resources because so much is changing. I'm Diana Nucera.
Yep. Sounds a little low to me.
AKA Mother Cyborg. I've been teaching people technology for as long as I can remember. To me, Mother Cyborg is someone who's supposed to help people come to the realization of the potential of technology. I'm the director of the Detroit Community Technology Project, which is responsible for the Equitable Internet Initiative. Well, Detroit's one of the top 5 least connected cities in the United States. So what happens when you have half of the city that has 1,000 megabits per second, and then the people with the least resources only have 10? I think that causes a huge problem as far as what you can do with access. Because of high foreclosure rates and because of bad credit, a lot of telecom companies don't offer good service within these areas, or they won't even turn on their fibers. So we have a lot of dark fiber that doesn't have internet running through it throughout the city. So we have gigabit fiber that we've purchased from a ring that was recently built downtown. They have built fiber up to a rooftop, and that rooftop then has a router that then is being pointed to each of our community centers. There's a global infrastructure. A lot of that fiber runs underneath cities and under the floors of oceans. That internet infrastructure then has these exchange points throughout the world. And the exchange points are where internet service providers then tap in to be able to exchange information. And then from there, internet service providers then build infrastructure to then share the signal. And so that's where we come in. We need to build our own infrastructure and rethink internet service providing and access in order to reach those people that have been traditionally left out and marginalized. So the work we've been doing is not just about access, it's about building a healthy digital ecosystem. We're also building an infrastructure that was missing in Detroit. What evolved out of that was what we call the Digital Stewards Program. We have now trained trainers in 3 neighborhoods. In the North End.
So yeah, we just leaving our spot right here. Our AP's on top of this building. We got our drivers right here. We got Gabby right there. We got the young guy, Heru, right here in the North End.
In Island View.
This space, this is a maker space for the church. The share network is down here, as you can see over your computers. Dwight works on like the wiring and cabling. A lot of the manual things that are on the tech side.
My process really starts with searching for sounds and figuring it out in real time. It's very improvisatory. Hi, I'm Lorraine, and this is my 6 hours.
And in Southwest Detroit.
This would be an example of a public space. Some of the neighbors come over and they do their homework in the alley because we could share the Wi-Fi. A lot of the people right now, they currently there's people that go to McDonald's for Wi-Fi. Why not have a public space for people to use it?
$86, $84. It said 18 megabits though, so 89. Usually we have to put stuff up on the roof, but these trees are old in the North End. That's been our biggest complication, these like beautiful ass trees. It's good to have trees as your complication.
87, 81, 82, 83.
Let's try the front window. This was our first one and it took 3 hours, so our time has been decreasing. I feel like me and my teammate Gabby can get one done in about an hour, honestly. You got to plan before you leave. We all got to be aware of like what's going on. Like, are we testing? Are we installing? We got to communicate. So a few things on paperwork got to be filled out, a few calls got to be made, and that's it. It's simple.
So this is the router that's on top of Grace in Action. Anything that we can see like straight from here is a house that we can get connected. So like the houses across the street, we can talk to the liquor store owner or the body shop owner. We're using our community relationships to kind of zigzag the connection down to Grace in Action. In a way right now, like 60% of Detroit is without high-speed internet, like even the 18D dial-up internet. And so things like water department, DTE, social services, they're not even translated. We're in a large Spanish-speaking community as well. People are being left behind in a system where technology is moving forward. There's a big digital divide, and so we're trying to make steps in order to bridge that gap.
My name is Wallace Adam Gilbert Jr. I'm the assistant pastor here at Church of the Messiah. We don't use titles, so everybody basically refers to me as Wally. This neighborhood is called Island View. To our west is downtown Detroit. It's booming and it's bustling. We are 2 minutes from the Detroit River. This is a very diverse neighborhood. This is one of the older parts of the city. We have an Earn a Computer program here at the church. So the kids come in, we put the call out, we get all of these old machines, we bring them in and we help them build computers. This past Christmas, all of the kids were literally on every computer in this church. I'm walking around saying, you know, what's going on? They said, well, we gotta go back to school tomorrow. So why are you on this machine? I helped you build a machine. I know you have a nice machine at home. He said, yes, Wally, but I don't have the internet. Without the internet, we've basically only given them typewriters.
So right here with these blue dots with the house symbols on them, these are the people who have filled out applications and are interested in receiving the internet. So we could service all of these people rather quickly. To get a signal from the Church of the Messiah, we would have to look at what buildings do they have over there that we can make a hub.
So what we're doing now is we've done the physical mapping. We've actually turned up the network here at the church, and now the individual residents are coming and signing up. We have 37 people that are on board. The main access is here at the church, and then we're broadcasting to other facilities. One of the requirements is that you do not have internet. Second requirement is that you cannot afford the internet. The third is you have to be within our range.
Look around and what you see is decay, but at the same time there's community groups developing, there's a food pantry, you know, the churches are still active in the community. We have an antenna right here, by the way, it's on the back of the house, and another one on the front of this house. We're giving people the internet.
Gabby, why are we doing this?
Justice. This is the future of the internet. This is the future of the world. New CCEII internet.
We found our spot. We about to install. Took a little minute, couple windows. We don't have to go to the 3rd level, so we should be good. So this is the final step, y'all. So we got our CPE outside. We got our RJ45 coming in to the grounding. The grounding got an RJ45 coming out to the router. The router is not connected to this laptop that she's configuring, giving network information to the devices in the house.
How do you leverage ownership of the networks that everybody uses every single freaking day? How do you leverage that? And then the connectedness between Island View, Grace in Action Southwest, and New CC on the north end. Again, different neighborhoods, but is there a community that gets established by those networks?
The community is actually starting to get very involved, they're very informed, they're very aware, and it was not an easy process, but they're there now.
Though some of the challenges in this process, it was a challenge negotiating to get our connections. Being a woman, specifically a woman of color, a lot of people aren't going to listen to me when it comes to technology or even the internet. We primarily work with women of color, and that to me has been like a success that's come out of this. And it's a proof that if you have people of color in leadership, then it'll uplift other people of color to come into leadership as well.
I think it's important when you talk about businesses and places and organizations that do things to have a face to it. So for me, this is a beautiful thing to be a part of, because the faces that these people see are the same people who installed it, the same people who are protecting their privacy, the same people who will come back and be like, hey, you have a problem. How do we fix that, you know?
If you think about it from a utility standpoint, those internet service providers are likely to at some point start to merge. And then you've got one or two big behemoths that are controlling access, right? And the type of products that you get to use. And we're trying to do something different.
This is a worldwide problem, not just here in Detroit. We see it in New York. Our Equitable Internet Initiative can't stop at everyone needs a connection. Everyone needs to have a high-speed connection, or else we're going to create a digital class system. Communication is a fundamental human right. The future of the internet should be a collaboration between city, philanthropy, and nonprofit sectors. In order to actually get to anybody, it's going to require quite a bit of community organizing.
My hope for the future of the internet is that it stays free and open
To the humans on this planet.
I was so impressed when I saw it before. I really needed, I wanted everybody to see the work that that was done and is being still worked on and done through working together, the collective working together to solve the problems of in our community or any community. Danielle?
Okay, hi, Grand Rising. And just watching that is eye-opening because I didn't know that there was such a different disparity with the internet within my own backyard. I would have to say that I grew up with the internet. I'm a child of the 80s and the 90s. I was there when AOL was dial-up and you used to get that CD and sign up and everything. So since basically 8th grade, I've had internet. Since 8th grade, I've had a computer. And I now realize that was a luxury. And I didn't realize that was a luxury. So I've been with technology and the internet since I was 12 years old. Right. And that video just put something in my face that I didn't know was there. I knew there was people that had, didn't have access. I didn't know there was how the fibers and the connectivity and everything worked. I grew up in Mackenzie School. I grew up in the hood. So I'm like, I've had internet in the hood since I was 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that was just that was eye-opening. That was really, and that really let me know how blessed I've been. And that's the reason why I am the way that I am, because I was introduced to the computer. Like seeing children, I didn't even know people still build computers to this day. But my first two computers were built by somebody. First computers were built by somebody. And I just have to say, wow, that just opened up my eyes to something I didn't even realize was even there. And I have to say thank you, Baba Heru, for actually, being of service and of actually fixing a problem. And like I said, I didn't even know that was there. That's all.
Yeah, so we as a community, I mean, it's universal. As much as people would think like, their children, my child, I had peers who were like, my child's in a suburban school and I know they're getting computer work. And I'm like, no, it's the same model. So everywhere, Black children just have less computers, less working computers, but it's the same bad model. We have 30 machines at a school in the lab and the 300 kids. Mm-hmm. And so part of our Quick to Learn project, just kind of jumping back, was every child needs their own desktop. At the point when we started the project, everybody needs to have a tool in front of them in order to really interact with the web. I mean, people were like, oh, well, people have phones. You can't really do 3D animation on a phone and create CGI systems on a phone. So no matter how many times people will sell you this as a phone, or you can have a phone connection, this is not a real tool. They need a laptop or a tablet, even a tablet at the smallest rate for every child. It's like having a pencil. But we don't have that type of economy. And we don't have that kind of connectivity either as a community, because it's based on the pay to debt ratio. So racism is institutionalized in technology with things like, oh, your community only has an 80% pay to debt ratio, has less than 80% pay to debt ratio, which means that the people in this particular demographic or geographical locations, that's better said, only pay up to 80% of their bills. They may make 67% of the total billing that is due for their community. So they are not a place to bring new technology. Mm-hmm. So these types of it's racism, it's classism, in terms of your community doesn't pay enough of their bills in order no living being pay enough of your bills in order to qualify for the latest or the fastest or the highest speeds. because the infrastructure is not supported, or we won't be able to pay for our hardware costs, and so we won't be able to put stuff in, you know, west side of Detroit, because the west side of Detroit only has 67% pay to debt ratio as a community. So yeah, it's gonna go in Southfield as our first connect, or our fiber connect first. So with the project we were doing was a way to kind of jump over that and jump through some loopholes, the gray areas of the internet, to allow for the community to actually get internet. So when she talked about purchasing high speed connections, so the organizations came together collectively and did the work to pay or get paid the cost of having one really fast internet connection in that community. And then we, as the stewards, then used that connection and shot it point-to-point connections across the community to individuals. So it allowed us first to kind of beat the non-compete, non-usage, I guess is what you call it. So one person is allowed to have an internet connection at your house, and with that internet connection comes what's called an internet protocol address, IP address. And that address, like your address on the outside of your house, is the address, technology address for your house. One for everybody is really what the government wants. That each person in this community, in the entire nation, has their own IP address to match with that person. Pretty close.
Wow.
What we did to usurp that, so that it gives a level of privacy and anonymity in ways, we created that one high-speed connection is one address. And then we created a network, so all the people behind that network would not be as obvious to the internet provider. So we had hundreds, we still do, hundreds of people sharing one IP address, versus all of us out here who have one IP address at our house pretty much. And that's how most of our digital information is collected. Like, this is this person's name coming from this IP address regularly. So we put these two together, and just like any application form that we've seen, we are tabulated. So with our project was to, hey, we're going to set up our own gateway or firewall, if you will, literally and figuratively, so that the community behind that we create behind here can use the internet as one. So even in the actual effort of creating this went the collective work and people taking responsibility for their portion, where their expertise lie, in order for it to continue. So I was a part of that program because of my expertise. Initially, I was brought on as an instructor to teach the people in each individual community this technology of using wireless, point-to-point, and in some cases, mesh technology. And when we say point-to-point, it's pretty much like, you all remember those string cans on a string back in the day, and you could pull the string tight, and you could hear the person humming or talking through the string.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a point-to-point connection, really raw. Just imagine that the string is now invisible. So now I can shoot a signal from one person to the other person, or from one section of the city or one building to another through the air directly, like a wire, but it's functioning wirelessly. So this is what we created for the community. We had a single point of connect, and then that will be shooting the signal. I think the main ones are 60 degrees from the top of a roof, and then anybody we could get on the inside of that to connect back to that same point that had a clear, what they call clear line of sight. That was the gist of our work.
We have a question when you're ready. We have a couple of questions.
I'm sorry, I'm flowing.
All right, Bob. That's what water does. We have a question from Sister Star and then Mama Hania.
Hi, Baba Heru. I'm also a Cancer on the same day as yours, as a matter of fact. Since that project was done back in 2017, has there been any improvement technology-wise in that area?
Yes, I have to say yes. For them, definitely, they got more tools, ladders. They got a truck. they got climbing equipment and harnesses. So as a team and teams, they all, I mean, they've upgraded, and the equipment actually, some of which I introduced my peers to, like, here, let's see if we can use this, because a lot of it was a lot of it was completed because of my background in technology and with wireless equipment before I went into the project. So yeah, there've been improvements in terms of the speed, their own logistical. So the person that quote unquote replaced me was a young white guy who volunteered at first because he said he felt, hey, we are climbers, we do climbing, you know, the vertical rock climbing, all that. We would like to, you know, donate our services to help you guys in some kind of way. And so he brought his entire climbing team that he had put together, their hobbyists, and they began helping, as I was leaving the project, helping get some of these done quicker because they could get up on top of a roof and get better positioning with their climbing tools than we could before. And now it has become more successful because he has been integrated and some of his teammates into the project. So some of these more difficult locations and buildings are not more easily reached or accomplished. So yes, a lot of things have changed, but it is still the same process of putting the internet in for people.
Right. What about the community, the people?
Cancer love.
What about the people that received it? Did the areas improve in having coverage and ability to, you know?
Yeah, it's like through government programs and stuff like that.
I think, you know, the internet I mean, kind of jumping around, but also speaking about what Danielle was wild about, is that we who have access to the technology, and when we do access the technology, quickly forget how important it is and how much of a luxury it is for us. So we end up really using it less for what we need it for. And so in the community, it's been kind of like, oh, wow, we got it now. And we have it. So we're doing all the things that we want to, Instagram, Facebook, social media, but we may not necessarily realize the tool in terms of its ability to give us information, give us access to information. So it's definitely a double-edged sword because you can be distracted into doing meaningless things that don't really necessarily improve or evolve your person when there's an opportunity to do that once you have access. So we quickly take it for granted that it's always there and it'll always be there, but it's not like that. Very few people actually have this ability. Mm-hmm. Mama, or was that Mama Aduni?
Mama Hanifa, I'm sorry, Hania. Please correct me of the pronunciation.
Okay. Yeah, turn your mic on. It's in the corner, left-hand corner.
Unmute yourself.
He's trying to find it.
There we
Oh,
go.
there it is.
Yep.
So first of all, I would like to say good morning, and I apologize for being late. but good morning to the Elizabeth Rising sisters and brother. I'm actually a resident of the Detroit area now, and I'm very grateful to be a part of the community here again. And just listening to you all makes me feel excited about today in this Habari Ghani, in Habari Ghani also to you. But to be a part of a Kwanzaa celebration, it just really makes me feel good. I just wanted to share.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so let's see with our questions. We've talked about your name and your education. So you came up in our African centered schools, and not African centered in name, but African centered in how they operate.
Well, I
Without
taught
the
a little legacy. Before there was Ansaroma, Timbuktu, or the Taki Taliba, or Akibalan, there was Alexander Crummell Affirmative Shule. And that's where it all started for me. And most of the people who were involved with that initial school created the rest of them after that. So, Bob Malik was part of Alexander Crummell, Baba Bektimba, and Mama Carmen and Namdi were part of that. So, yeah, I go all the way back to 75, 74 Glendale. Right.
That's your birthday.
Highland Park, yep.
That's your birthday for the address. Wow. Yeah. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about also was, that looking at the symbol that's used for today, the symbol that shares the stomach with the shows, we are that, a group started it, and here are the branches where they reached out and other people started other communities of schools to service people with that same mindset. So you are the product of that. Mama Razia was a part in some way as well. And then here we have you, and now you have your daughter who also benefited from that. So we're looking at generations of children being able to participate in that, in the African centeredness, without so much heavy influence of the oppressor, if you will. Star, you had another question or a comment?
Yes, and it's a little off subject. However, I don't think so. They say that music is a voice of God and it heals. And I would like to know, what was it that happened in your life that caused you to become the DJ that you are? And what is your favorite music that you like to play and why?
Thank you, Star. Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
So I started off when I was 15 DJing, so that's 40 years at this point. And it has always been what gives me goosebumps. Like when I first heard some of the dance musics at the events, clubs. I think I was in 9th grade. I went to a party and was like, wow, listen to how this DJ is putting this music together, because it wasn't mainstream to do this thing called scratching, mixing, cutting, and all that. It wasn't mainstream, so you didn't hear that until you went to a place that people did it, or mixed music together. So when I first heard these musics coming together in 9th grade, I guess I was 12, 13, because I was double promoted. So when I first got to Cass, so there's a little more education. I became privy. I mean, we had seen there had been Rappers Delight in 78, 77, and some of these other rapping, but I hadn't really been privy to the actual techniques, or actually somebody doing this with these turntables. So once I was exposed to that, then I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do that. And so that was the initial drive that took me into the program, into meeting people who did it. Like, oh, you DJ? I mean, show me what you know. You know what I mean? So I asking questions, talking to people, and then beginning to acquire equipment. By the end of high school, end of the 11th grade, I had acquired a mixer, had one turntable. So I'm working my way towards this DJing. You know, my own level of history. So my mom, of course, did not necessarily agree with me scratching records on her turntable. So you know I was in trouble. And then my grandfather gave me an old speaker that was really loud. So I was up on the top floor of my house, where I had been almost sequestered with this big speaker and this one turntable and this one mixer, and just making a whole lot of chicka 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 boom 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 all evening. But somewhere in my own inner soul, it was like, you're gonna have to keep doing this, because I met with resistance at all levels. She's like, what are you doing? You're messing up records. My argument with my mother at the time was, I'm learning a new way, I would say, like, I'm a nouveau musician. This is new musicians. I'm taking technology and making it into an instrument. And she was like, that's not music. That's not music. You're not a musician. And I was like, but I am in some way. This is my get in trouble as a teenager, because I started skipping school to do this. You know what I mean? To learn how to do this. I'd be missing classes and failing classes in order to learn how to DJ. So it was eventually identified to me by my grandfather, like, boy, that was my correction after high school. I was sent to my grandfather, who was a military person, to get this young 16-year-old genius in line. So he came at me with the full military gauntlet. Bed had to be quarter bounced in the morning, lawn cut and clean, yard swept and taken care of. I was like straight military. Go to school, get home. I want to see you sitting in front of your books at 8 a.m. to midnight every night. So I was in trouble, obviously, but it was a level of discipline that I appreciate now, for sure. But there was that. And he said it to me then. He was like, you seem to do that without anybody having to tell you to do that for hours. You're in those headphones. As soon as you have free moments from work or homework or chores, you're in that. Maybe you shouldn't be doing school. You should be doing this. And I told him, I said, I love this, but this should be at it. Make sure I eat and I can take care of my family. So I'm doing both. So he honored me with that. And from that point, I really did both in school. I DJed for extra cash. I left that school and went to the South to go to Tuskegee, and there I became an integral part of the whole DJ scene, and that was another trouble. I taught younger brothers how to DJ, and all through this, going back, start to your question, because I know cancer is about the feeling. It was always the feeling, the goosebumps. And when you put two songs together, something that may have not happened in that way by anybody else, and you hear that sonic and those keys come together into something new, for me, is still the ultimate drug. And so I was there as a youngster watching hip hop and join the stream. Basically, I go, I'm in here. I'm the whole there, or living it. Like locks. Crowds of people around, microphones, everything. I'm in it. DJ House, and DJ House became DJ Heru more recently, because hip hop and house, after dealing with both of them 50 years, didn't necessarily give me this feeling I got from Amapiano anymore. Like Amapiano gave me the feeling I got when I first heard hip hop and first scratched those two records together. You know what I mean? that feeling had faded. It was like, well, yeah, I'm gonna go DJ at a party. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna play this music. I'm gonna get hyped. Yeah, but it wasn't like, what is this? This reminds me of back in the day, but it's brand new, but it's old, but I like this. And that has given me back a feeling that I guess I'm gonna say I long for. I was like, man, we need some new music, man. We need something new. I mean, I've played all types of music, rock and roll, metal, heavy metal, reggae, blues, jazz. I mean, I've played every type of music for different crowds, different races. Maybe not so much East Indian or West African for a large crowd, but I've incorporated those sounds in all the mixes I do. So, yeah, I think that's something, all that up. That's the education, the music, all that, the history, all in a little quick story.
Thank you.
I'm Omani. She's waving. Think she wants to say something or ask a question.
No, that was me clapping. That was good what you said. I was waving my
Oh.
hand, me clapping on Zoom.
Okay. Oh, okay. I remember that. Look, it's etiquette now. Let me see.
So I would just like to thank everyone for tuning in today and coming on board to share the moment in the life and journey with Baba Heru as he has traveled through this space and time. It is 9:59. We need to share any enlightenment or words of encouragement or whatever's on your mind that you just want to put out in the universe for today for our collective work and responsibility. I want to thank our guest, Heru. Thank you so much for coming out of your shell. And Queen Aduni invited you to come, and so I made
right,
sure.
that's why I had to come out.
Queen Aduni, that's right.
Because I'd have been like, Mama, I'm not doing it.
I had your ass. It was Queen Aduni. Yes. So I just want to say thank you again, and open your mind to different things. Celebrating Kwanzaa is not a moment; it is a lifestyle. As you heard from Mama Razia, it's been going on before, and I didn't even know about Kwanzaa until I joined till I put myself into the African community. Even though I'm a member, I didn't get into African culture until right before I met Heru. I had started the journey. It was just very important to me that I knew something was deeper and greater than what I had.
Yes.
I knew there was something deeper and greater than what I had, and I was searching for something more. Sister Hanaya, would you like to say something? I see your hand raised.
Yes, I just want to say that I wish I had a more balanced childhood and influenced by the community here. But I'm grateful that I'm a part of the community now. Mama Razia, I don't know if you guys know Mama Chiquita, but Razia and Chiquita and a few other sisters have been very instrumental in me getting reconnected. So I'm praying that I'll be able to do so much more for those who my influence will be helpful to. Because my son is such a talented brother. If he had met the brother Heru, oh, how powerful he would be. But there was no brothers around to influence him. So I'm just praying for him, both my sons. They're gonna get the vibration from me now because I'm back.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yes.
All right. Anybody else have anything to share? Wow. Ujima of Aragani. Ujima Sante.
Thank you, Baba Heru, for saying yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I hope you all do the bonfire.
But we're gonna do something.
Yes, next week we look at Tuesday. Come on, Tuesday weather. Come on, Tuesday weather.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice.
57 degrees on Tuesday. I think we can go
Take
outside.
it. I take it. Yeah, I take it. We're gonna be out there in the snow with the fire going and some music. I'm requesting. He might come out for that.
He might come out of the cave, huh?
Yeah, cancers have their own shell, so they keep everything seed in their shell so they don't have to go nowhere. That's why they don't need to go nowhere.
Yes, we do.
And they
That's
walk
right.
sideways. That's why they can read people, because they looking on your right and your left. We shoot straight forward, narrow-minded. Them cancers on the side, like, who are you? And I see you do this and you do this.
Wait a
and you
minute,
do
wait a
this.
minute, wait a minute, Mama Het, let me just tell you this. So the other day when I came over to the house to get the herbs, Baba answered the door, right? So I didn't know him. But when he asked the door, that's what he said to me. And who are you? I was like, oh, so the day when he got on the call and said he was astrogalactic, I was like, yeah, because when I looked into his eyes, I lost myself. I forgot. Oh my God, I forgot the child's name. I was like, who did I come here to see? I got lost and remember why I came there, right? So today,
Dot back here.
like, that's what
She
happened.
giggling back here.
Nicole.
So I was like, what the hell just happened? So when you said she went somewhere, I'm like, okay, I'm going to my car right now. That was an experience just meeting him, because he did look me straight into my soul, to the left and to the right. He did that to me. And I was like, what the hell? Because I'm sensitive like that too. So I was like, what the hell just happened? I'm out of here. So it was so great meeting you. So glad to have the opportunity tonight.
Thank you, Mama. You know, his eyes have gotten him in trouble. All he did was look into the screen, and it was online, and the lady told him, don't look at me.
But then I'm gonna tell you something too. The other thing, when I walked up on the porch, the rocks greeted me. Them rocks, the painted rocks greeted me and started talking to me. So I knew I had walked into something. I'm like, okay, the rocks is talking. Okay, hello. So it was the whole just the walking up to the door was an experience. So I just want to say,
I'm glad. Thank you so much. All right.
This has been a great Ujima celebration.
Yeah.
And just so appreciative for what we shared today. And thank you, Brother Heru, Sister Het. We couldn't have had a better start for the special day of Ujima. Lots of love to you as you go forward. We're looking forward to so much more. The sky's the limit. We just appreciate you so much, the two of you, and what you're offering to the universe. It's much bigger than Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And we love it.
And my friend says, who is Sky, she says, there is no limit to sky. So the sky is not even the limit.
Yes.
So I want to tomorrow. Now I'm not versed in all the Kwanzaa. What is tomorrow's Kwanzaa?
Ujamaa.
Ujamaa.
And so that is
cooperative
Thursday?
Yes.
Cooperative economics.
Nawili and Lily B.
Yes.
And then Friday, we're going to cover all the last three.
Nia Kaumba Imani.
Yeah.
Is that
And
right?
also tomorrow is Reverend Ruth from Los Angeles is going to get up early to be with us, because you know it's
3 hours.
5 o'clock at their time when it's 8 o'clock. So let's show up for her.
Yes.
She's getting up to be with us, and she is a powerful sister. And then we have Reverend Shahira, right here from our city of Detroit, and many of you have had some type of relationship with her, and so you know the power that she comes with.
Power.
Yeah, and yeah. So please join us, and we appreciate every single one of you. Tomorrow, I'll share this today that it will be Nawili and the Thursday team. It will be their last day as far as leading. So that spot is open, and I'm listening from the Holy Ghost to tell me what or who will show up for that spot.
Right.
They're still part of us, but the leadership, life is showing up in a different way for them. So we honor that. That is what Elizabeth is about, is to bring forth your baby. And bringing forth baby changes life. You know that. Those who have children, when the new babies come in, it take over. You think they gonna fit into your life? No, you gonna fit into their life.
That's right. That's right. That's right, Mama. That is so true.
Yeah, so let's show up for them, and we thank everyone for showing up today.
Yes.
You two are a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Totally beautiful couple. Yeah, and we love you.
Thank you, Mama.
All right, give yourself a big hug. Oh, everybody, hug yourself. Hug yourself. I even touch myself. And hug the world because they need it. And sprinkle up prosperity and belief and joy and all those things and health and all the myth. Make it today.
All right. Bobby,
Love
you can
y'all.
go back in your shell.
Go back in your shell, Cancer.
I love y'all. Thank you.
Love y'all.
Bye.